Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Wallsend history story. Now this week is a little bit different. I'm trying something new. I'm doing a little video along Wallsend High Street. I hope you can actually see because the sun is incredibly bright at the moment and it's quite blinding. But anyway, I'm doing it. So obviously I'm not driving, so don't panic because obviously I couldn't drive and do this at the same time. So I wanted to do a little video along Wallsend High Street. So I thought that because it's getting a bit colder now, that it might be easier to do it from inside the car. So that's basically what I'm doing. So it's not really a history story as such. It's just kind of like a drive along the high street, so I can mention some of the shops, some of the ones that have been in the recent videos as well. And obviously for anybody who doesn't live here anymore, you're getting a little ride along the high street as well. So basically we're coming up to now what would be sort of the real start of the high street. So obviously you've got the Coach and Horses pub there, which I'll just turn that round. It's up for sale at the moment. It's not very good, unfortunately. We've just passed the town hall there. So obviously you've got the Cat Cafe over there, and that's where the car park used to be, but now it's houses, as you can see. And I'm just going to move this so that you can see the shops that we're passing. So these are the shops along the high street that mostly closed because it's Sunday. So that's the Coronation Club over there. And then, of course, we're coming to where the Borough Theatre, Borough Bingo used to be. And, of course, that's gone now. So that's not there anymore. And we're at the corner of Park Road. And you can see it's Christmas time because the Christmas lights are up. So there's Lloyd's Bank there, and I'm just going to move it forward a little bit so that I can do a bit more like that. So you can see some of the shops on the side. So you see we've just passed where the Army and Navy store used to be. And there is where Boots used to be, which is now Ramsden's. And of course, on my left there is Herons, which used to be Woolworths. And in front of you there is where the Wallsend Cafe used to be, which is now Pound Bargains. And there's the Forum. And now we're sort of coming along the main part of the high street, which obviously that's the part of the Forum there where the older shops used to be, like the Hadrian and the fish shop, its name completely gone. And there's the old Co-op, which is now, of course, KFC and Peacocks. And then obviously we've got to get to this end, and you've got a few pubs because that's where the Black Bull used to be, and there's the Ritz. And then on this side of the road you've got where the Jolly Sailors used to be, and Macintosh's Bakers used to be here as well. And then obviously you've got over there Aldi, which is all quite new because that's where Headley Place used to be, and of course isn't there anymore. We've actually passed the Queen's Head, but there's the Anchor. And I think I'm getting a bit of car in as well. So over on that side there, just where the bus has just gone past, is the Duke of York. And then actually we're like quite a way along the high street now. So we're going to turn and go up West Street. So we're just coming up West Street now. Obviously West Street is where the Western School used to be, but of course that's not there anymore because that's been long since demolished. The old school, there is a new school higher up, of course, but the school that I remember, the school that I went to, that's no longer there because that's obviously now houses, which you're going to see before we turn. So there you go. So we were going to go along Elton Street, but we've ended up coming up past the school, but we'll go round and down where the Co-op laundry used to be. So coming round now on to North Road, I hope. I've only lived here all my life and I still can't remember the name of half the roads. So coming along here to where these new houses are is where the Co-op laundry used to be. So we'll go down there. So coming down here, and of course a long time ago as well, when you came down here, you would have seen a Golden Square at the bottom, but of course that's been gone for years. But that there, which we're just coming up to, is where Golden Square would have been. So in front of us is the new entrance into Aldi, and that is the new Doctor Surgery Hadrian Health Centre. So as we go along here, we will pass where the old co-op used to be, and we'll also see where the big building on the left-hand side of the video has just been demolished. Well, it hasn't completely been demolished. So that's the old co-op car park, as I call it, but of course it's the car park for the forum now. And of course that's the co-op there. So coming up on the left, I can't remember what this building used to be used for, but it's just recently been demolished, or nearly been demolished. So there's a big empty space, and you can see it a bit there. So, and if you look at that little bit that we're just passing, there's two big gaps in the building that sort of show that they've took the date stones out. So I'm assuming whatever they're going to build, they are going to replace the date stones in there. So that's where the opticians used to be, that's where the butchers used to be, over there. And of course, obviously that's the other side of where what used to be the co-op. And then of course you've got where Milburn's used to be, and Mayfair Jewelers, and Tompkins, and then obviously that's the Anson on that side. And down here there used to be a cafe there, which I used to go into, and there also used to be, I'm sure it used to be Carrick's, the bakers down here. I can't quite remember, but I think it used to be. And then we've stopped at the traffic lights, so we've got a few minutes, but I didn't want to film people crossing over the road. So obviously that again is where Greenways used to be, and it's now Pound Bargains. And that's again another view of Woolworths. So even though it's a Sunday, it is still quite busy on in the high street and around Wallsend. There are still quite a lot of shops open, and there's a lot of people wandering about shopping. Well, obviously, I don't think they're just wandering about for fun, but there's still quite a lot of people wandering about. So we're going to go down to the bottom of Station Road. So coming down here, obviously that's where Woolworths used to be, and then obviously you've got St Luke's over there, and you've also got St Luke's Church House, Vicarage I should say, and then you've got the shops on that side of the road. And what we're going to do is we'll go right down to the bottom, and we'll go along Hadrian Road a little bit. So there's obviously Wallsend Metro Station, which used to be Wallsend Railway Station, and you can see in the distance there, you can see Segadunum, because obviously it's quite large, you can't miss that. And then over there, of course, we have Asda, which used to be a car park for Swans, I think, at one point in time. And it also used to be Netto. Now these are temporary traffic lights, so these are always fun. And then you've also got Swan's Clock. I would zoom in up. Well, I'll give it a go and see if I can. Yeah, I can. Look, there you go. Swan's Clock. I'm not very good at zooming in on this. So that's Swan's Clock. Actually, what time is it say? Ah, yeah, it says 12 o'clock. Well, it's not 12 o'clock, so that's clearly not working. You can see Swan's Bank there in the distance, but you can't see down it. But if you could see, well, you can actually tell that the buildings are missing. Even from here, you can just about see that there's nothing down there anymore, because obviously it was all demolished a while ago. I believe there's work going on down there, but I don't really know what. So, as I say there, I'm kind of stuck at the temporary traffic lights, and they tend to take a little bit longer. So we're just looking at the same view. And yeah, I can't think of anything to say while we're looking at the same view. The only thing I can say is it's nice and warm in the car. So, and there you go, they've started. So we're just going to go along Hadrian Road, so that for anybody, like I say, who doesn't live in the area anymore, or whatever, you just want to see, this is where Carville Railway Station used to be. Well, not quite here. So you're coming up to Carville Cottages, Carville Station Cottages, which is there. Obviously, they've been in a video that I did recently about Carville Station. So you can see there they are there. We've managed to get all the traffic lights now. We'd got through all of them before. So obviously this is the bottom of Park Road, and we'll just go along to the end of Hadrian Road. So we're just coming along now to where Carville Station used to be, which was there. And basically this is where, well, not quite, but we're coming up to where Palmer's buildings used to be, which was obviously 3rd Street, 4th Street, Mark Street, all of those ones, which was Charles Street. I remember that one because my dad used to live there. So that is where that all used to be. Well, of course, obviously there's nothing there now. It's industrial estate, sort of industrial buildings, and mostly all you can see along this part of the road is basically trees. So yeah, not a lot I can say about trees other than the fact that when the leaves are dropping off them and they're going nice and brown, it's quite pretty, but at the moment they've all dropped off. So I'm just gonna basically stop here because we're going to be turning around and heading back up to the high street. Just in the distance there you can see where G-Pit used to be. So we're now coming up the little bank, and when we come up the bank we'll be back onto the high street, pretty much where we started. So nothing exciting, just a short little video. So I do hope that you have enjoyed it, and I do thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again very soon.